30 seconds until minions spawn.
After an incredibly difficult time in Low Master last episode, we finally managed to form a breakout. So we're starting off today at 101 LP. Immediately, we managed to pick up 2 kills, one onto our ADC, one onto me. It seems good, right? 2 for 1. It wasn't that great. The wave, it's not set up in a position that we can do anything with it. It ends up slow pushing, and then the enemy ADC gets to catch the whole thing. So while that's happening, I roam to the mid lane because Ezreal really can't do anything until the wave crashes back, and that takes time. After a successful gank in the mid lane, we head back to the bot lane in time to catch the wave, gathering all that juicy experience. But now somehow, well, not somehow, I did get the solo experience, but I have a level advantage and I'm trying my best to push it. The problem is I didn't set up good vision control before I did it, and we see the Nidalee is in top lane, which should have been the indicator to me that Yi is likely in the bottom river. Well, I wasn't paying attention and he came to the bot lane and punished us. One mistake led into another, and things were just not going our way. And for some reason, this Yi had a complete number on us. I could not land my abilities on him. I was now on a side quest, and our goal was to kill Yi. The elo, that can wait. Jungle overlay timers that you see on my map are actually from the Mobalytics app. It's an overlay companion app that you can completely use for free. I've seen a bunch of comments asking about it, and fortunately for you guys, they're actually the sponsor of the video today. So if you want to use the exact same overlay that I'm using, I'm going to provide a link for the download in the description of this video. Besides the amazing map overlay, once you've downloaded the Mobalytics app, press Shift and Tab and you're going to be able to view a bunch of additional features. Whether you want insight into your opponent's strengths and weaknesses or need a breakdown in your team comp, the Mobalytics app is so goddamn useful and is free. If you've not yet downloaded it, please do so using the link in my description. Thank you very much. I bet you guys thought we were gonna get redemption and kill the Yi, didn't ya? Well, we didn't. He fucking destroyed us the whole game, and somehow we managed to get carried anyway. That's the joy of solo queue, right? You don't have to play great every single time, you just have to be carryable, as they say. As long as you're carryable, you can still win a elo, and that's what we did this game, gaining us a whopping 20 LP. Moving on to the next lobby, we see a Karthus, which is promising because it means there's a chance that we could potentially play double jungle Scion. Ah, what a shame. So close. We almost got the perfect game to play double jungle Scion. He last second picked the Aatrox, and I don't know if he was trolling or not. Either way, I don't want to take that risk in forcing him into an uncomfortable position and then him tilting because it's not working and then he blames us. You know how it goes. So we may as well just play the bot lane. They end up invading enemy red side and get watered out, so they rotate back. But judging by the timer, 1:30, Aatrox is starting a blue buff. This is really, really bad for our team. So I decided to push through anyway. I can see Shyvana was trying to start on this red because of the wards they put down, and I can just keep going and going. It's very annoying for him to be interrupted mid-camp. I can push him off it and look to help my Aatrox, allowing him to get the farm while denying Shyvana some. He smites the big raptor. This doesn't give him level 2. He needs the little ones as well. We stole a couple of them, but 3 of these should be enough to get him level 2, so we're blocking it. It is unfortunate that it passed back, but we're trying our best. The enemy top laner comes to try and stop us. You can see Shyvana still is trying to get to those creeps. It's not enough, and now it's just a waiting game. Aatrox has killed his blue buff. If we can stall him out as long as possible, this is going to give us the best chance of winning this game possible. I end up telling the Aatrox that I'm going to leash him this red. Screw taking that Grump, come right over. He does it. We leash the red for free, and we're off to a pretty decent start now. Shyvana's behind a camp. Aatrox is ahead, 2 of them. Hopefully this is enough to help us win. You're probably wondering what was happening in the bot lane while all that shenanigans were going on. Well, the Karthus has a very easy time 1v2ing. We end up sneaking into the brushes because they still think it's 1v2, and we're able to clean up another kill onto the Karthus, so he's in a really good position. From here, it's about rotating around the map and taking advantage of the edges that we have. Cannon uses flash to kill the Sylas, so we know it's a guaranteed kill if we flash E. I then hold the wave for the Sylas because he did just die, giving him this golden experience. Makes him feel better, but it also gets him back into this game. It's like he lost nothing at all. It, of course, wasn't all smooth sailing. It never is when it comes to solo queue. The game was pretty much dead even. They were absolutely demolishing the Nasus in the top lane. This got them a lot of gold onto both their top laner and jungler, which allowed them to constantly pressure the Baron. We were strong enough to keep pushing them off it, so it was a big back and forth tug of war until eventually this next fight happened. This was the first convincing team fight where we probably could just take this Baron and look to push. You can definitely see how close the team fights are. We have no answers for Garen as we don't have an ADC. Aatrox ends up going for the kill on Shyvana and dies, which means we can't get the Baron, and this leads into this team fight here, the final team fight. It ended the exact way it started, and by that I mean Nasus being dead and our Sylas split pushing. And with Ezreal dying, that secures ourselves the victory. I'm grateful it went in our favor because honestly that game could have gone either way. The enemy team was fuming. I guess they knew they could have won as well. We gained 21 LP. Game number 3, we are playing Sion in the top lane. We got our secondary role. For some reason, we are up against a Janna top. Not something you see every day, and you would expect me to crush it, but she's a bit of a lane bully actually, running Ghost, Ignite, manages to push me out at level 1, and from there I just play it like a Sylvain top. I get bullied, but I sit under my tower and wait until my jungler comes to gank. Basically what I'm saying is I went into complete survival mode. I'm more than happy to pass these kills off to the jungler, because this game I'm expecting to AFK farm until I'm big enough that Janna can't kill me, so then I can just perma split push. So the more gold that we manage to put onto Warwick so we can influence the map, the better. Even though it was a relatively boring laning phase, I did manage to get one cheese off onto the Janna. Sat in this bush, waited until she went for the farm. Couldn't help herself. I know she has no flash, so this is an easy pickup. And once again, I passed the kill straight off to another player. Not super interested in stealing gold. Despite my greater effort to try and make the top lane nice and mundane, action just kept coming back. I could not stop it. They kept coming to the goddamn top lane. Our team was leading the charge in the laning phase, but once the team fights started to happen, it's quite obvious that our comp isn't the greatest into theirs. Look how hard I'm trying to use any skill. I'm getting knocked up over and over and over. There's nothing I can do but Q flick, which leaves me kind of useless, really. Things continue to get worse. The scoreline now favoring the enemy team until this moment here. They have so many bounties on them. Orianna manages to get off a beautiful ult, which we then capitalize on and start getting these shutdowns. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 shutdowns we've picked up. I took every single one because I know this is going to be a Sion hard carry game. It's either we split to win or we lose our elo. Synergy was always a big issue for this team of ours, and that did not change anytime soon. We're 30 minutes in and we still haven't figured out how to work with each other. They go in way too soon for the Baron, which means they get the Baron for free, and I only get to the inhib tower rather than the inhib. I end up walking back and spotting the Lucian hard pushing mid. He is incredibly fed and he has been playing hyper aggressive. He's out of position here. I'm forcing the all in. MF was typing and potentially not in a position to help. She does manage to get there in time. Every time someone dies, look how many of these infernal cinder things drop to the floor. That one kill on the core player of the enemy team leads into an Amumu, and this leads into us hard pushing straight into the enemy base because they have no carry. They've got a Janna top. What are they going to do? We finally have an opportunity here to open up this base and potentially end this goddamn game. It feels like it's just never going to end. We end up walking away with 2 inhibitors at 32 minutes. Things are looking much better. We have a clear win condition now. Just head straight to the top lane. Everyone go top. Let Sion go to the bot lane. If the enemy wants to contest for the Infernal Drake, they're going to lose the game. Guess what? No one listens at all. They just do what they've been doing for the last 30 minutes. So whatever, I decide, okay, I will go to the top lane, and wouldn't you know, the same thing happened again. I'm forced to immediately ult because they start a fight rather than just slow playing it. Just slow play, god damn it. You do not need to go into the fight 4v5, it's just not necessary. Either way, they die, enemy gets the Infernal Soul, and now I opened up the last inhibitor. This is usually when the game becomes impossible for the enemy team to win. It takes a lot to come back from this moment. Our team ends up securing the Baron, but it's not too helpful because the Elder is spawning. So what I end up doing is teleporting in to try and force me taking these inhibs. Either I can draw them away from the Elder and allow my team to set up vision, or either way I can just get the inhib and ult away. It's no big deal. If you haven't realized, I'm doing everything in my power to avoid the 5v5. I already know our team loses it hard, so I just don't want to take it. I didn't really expect my team to show up and help. It doesn't end up going in our favor. They both die, and now I'm on a mission to just try and stall once again. I'm hoping that they chase me and don't go for the Elder, which they do end up doing. They send 3 to get me, and then I manage to safely run away with my ult, which was the original plan anyway. Doesn't really work. They still get the goddamn Elder buff. At this point, I am starting to get tilted. It's quite frustrating how long it's going for, especially when it's your team that has no clue what it's doing. They start this Elder fight, and I immediately know we're not going to win it. So I'm on a mission to just stop this minion wave and try and go and split. I'm trying to pull them as far away so that my team has a chance of spawning. I hadn't realized it at the time, but look how many Infernal Cinders that I managed to collect. I have 80 of them. I've almost reached the 100 goal that I've been trying to get to for all these months. I don't think I'm ever going to get it though, because they get me with the Elder. But holy shit, look at that explosion. It's like a volcano erupted. 7 more minutes has gone by. It is a 50-minute game. I don't even know when the last time I played a game that went this long. It's absolutely insane. Either way, we kept splitting for the last 7 minutes, never grouping, always trying to take down the inhibs once they spawn. Our team won the 4v4 without me being there. Zyra must have been the key for the enemy team winning. She was here defending the split, and we got through. We killed them. They surrendered. We won. Oh my god. Thank goodness we didn't lose the 50-minute game. I would have been so tilted. Winning this game nets us another 21 LP. We're at 163 LP. And we're also on a massive win spree. 8 in a row. So far in this video, we're on 3. Trying to get to 10 in a row, so let's keep it going. This is game number 4. We're playing Braum support once again, and we're doing something a little bit cheeky. It's hard to tell if that dive there was worth it. It is a massive wave, but we do give 2 kills to Rumble. I was only expecting 1 death. It created some odd situations. I'm not sure why the enemy ADC went to the top lane. I think he was trying to catch the wave that we denied the Rumble. Either way, a lot of weird stuff was happening, and it was all because of that level 1 cheese. We're going to zoom through this game. A lot happened, and it's another extremely long one. I don't want us to have to sit through it. We've seen enough Braum today. The TLDR is that Rumble got quite fed off that low-level play that we did, so he was a big threat throughout this game. We managed to get a lot of gold onto the Twitch, so it was Twitch versus Rumble. The showdown began. Whenever we started the team fight onto the Rumble, we found a great success. This didn't always happen though. Rumble has so much damage and they had a Vex, so whenever they would engage, it's hard to counter that with what we had. Eventually, Twitch did scale, and we had what we needed to finally defeat the opponent. We had this team fight where we completely wiped them, and we're chasing them down. If we killed them here, we had the wave set up in a manner that we could push and end, but then our Nah decided to teleport ahead. This then opened the door for them to cheese us in this brush. If we had all 5 players, there's no way they can do that. We would definitely wipe them and look to end right there. The game makes it all the way to 38 minutes. This is for another Infernal Soul. Another goddamn Infernal Soul. How many long games today are we going to end up playing? This time, however, we managed to secure the Infernal Soul, so we're in a really good position. A extremely fed Twitch with Infernal Soul. All we have to do is wait for the right team fight. Twitch has gone invisible. He's in a good position to deal damage and not die to the enemy. Nah did a really good job with his ult there as well, and just like that, it's only Rumble left, and he's not enough to stop us, so we walk through and collect our LP. 9 wins in a row, another 20 LP for this game. We are 1 game away from 200 LP. Yep, we're attempting this cheese once again. It's failed before, but this might be the time that it's successful. I get in position and wait until my team has clumped up. I then use the Q. The enemy team sees them come forward, but by then, we've already landed the Q, and it secures us the first blood. From there, we use that lead to push into enemy red side and start on red buff. They are aware that we're doing this. It's not some kind of hidden secret or anything like that. We help the leash and path back to bot lane. Usually in a situation like this, Elise immediately paths straight to bot lane for the gank. That doesn't end up happening. She ends up pathing straight to the Raptors. This leaves Ezreal and I in a very awkward spot. We obviously want to get to those minions, but we have to go through them to get to it. The better option would be to just go back and forfeit the lane and wait for Elise, of course, but by the time we realize she's not coming, we're already in the mix and we go for the kill and we lose. Thankfully, our suffering, it didn't last long. After clearing out red side, Elise comes to the bot lane to help finish them off. They were in an awkward spot as well. They didn't get time to push in the wave. I end up taking the kill onto Thresh, which upsets Elise, but I mean, hey, a little extra gold on Braum isn't the end of the world. It didn't take long for me to realize that there is a jungle gap, and in our favor. The Vi must be autofilled or off his champion or something, but it was pretty clear that Elise was the more efficient jungler, and he was landing all his skill shots and doing the right things. We ended up getting a lot of kills in the bot lane, but with a lot of kills came a lot of deaths for us. We handed most of the gold that we got right back to them, so it wasn't perfect by any means, that's for sure. This next clip shows you exactly why this game ended up taking so long, but also why it had so many kills. Ezreal was just going ham every moment he could. Elise was all for it as well. We were technically winning the trades very slightly, but it was never a decisive win a clear objective taken, and this is why the game went for an extended period of time. We're going to skip ahead now. We are way in the future. The scoreline is 33-32 in our favor. We are slightly leading it. At some point, we had a messy team fight and managed to pick up the Baron after it. We're trying to use that to break through the enemy base. They have Xerath, so it's been very difficult trying to get anywhere near those structures. He can clear the wave instantly. This is very scary for us because our comp is the one on the timer. The enemy team has a very scale heavy comp. If we let this go for too long, there's a good chance that it's going to turn around and bite us in the ass. Just look at this. I don't even know where you should be looking. There's something happening in every section of this map. Even in the bottom, Xerath was fighting the Lux one-on-one. Just a complete shit show. I remember being very confused in the game, and I'm just as confused watching it now. Even though it was a very, very messy team fight, we do eventually end up getting the ace. This allows us to finally push forward and secure our first inhibitor. Not a bad use of the Baron, and also extremely crucial to finally break through the first inhibitor. This gives us some leeway when it comes to the Xerath. Hopefully he gets pushed away. We ended up backing and sieging bot lane. It didn't go our way. Even though we picked up that Bramble, it wasn't enough to stop the health regeneration of the Mundo. He ends up completely wiping us, so we're kind of shitting bricks now because it kind of looks like they have scaled to the point that we can't beat them. That's a bit of an unknown at the moment, but what we do know is we need this Baron. Elise was trying to clear the wards before we got there. She ends up getting killed, and then he gets mad because we all know, like, we need this Baron. If they get it, we can kiss our elo goodbye. So defending this is a must. We cannot let this go down. Our Lux ended up coming in extremely clutch, landing multiple Qs and Es to lower the enemy, and eventually they had to peel away. They just did not have the sustain or the damage to kill Baron in time. Shortly after that, the Drake had spawned, and this is soul point for our team. They go all out. And you probably noticed that I was not alive, and that's because this happened. While we were killing the inhibitors and trying to escape, I was unable to successfully jump a goddamn wall. I died before one of the most crucial moments in the game for no reason. Anyway, turns out they didn't need me. Vi managed to steal the soul point. It didn't really matter though because he committed everything to do it, and they ended up dying one by one. And it's so late in the game that they immediately surrendered, and we claimed our 5th win in a row today. We are now up to 200 LP. Well, 203.